going
Oh,
to
stay
try
on, stay
again.
on, stay on.
All
We're trying
right,
again.
we are
Are we
on.
live now?
For some reason, it's not showing up as live, but we are on. So tonight, I'm going to talk about how can I help you around the coronavirus. And even though Facebook isn't showing us as live, we were live a minute ago, so we're going to be live again.
Okay.
So we would like you to send in your questions if we ever find out what the comments are. And in the meantime, we're going to try to do everything we can to help.
Well, I have a question in general.
Yes.
How can one be calm and sanguine in the face of a potential life-threatening virus?
Well, the first thing that comes to mind is, what's the alternative? You know what I mean? It's like, oh, we're going to be all freaked out. I mean, is that going to do any good? Could somebody call us again, because now we're still not showing that we're live, and I already stopped it and I started it, and I sure would like to know if we're live after all. So maybe somebody will call us now. Okay, on the phone. Okay, so I mean, what is the alternative? We can all get freaked out, can't we? We can create things to get freaked out about that are really, really small. So now we're facing something that is really, really big. So just, Jamie.
I'm going to ask if we're live.
Okay.
I'm calling her back.
And so it's...
Yes, are we live again?
We're calling
Thank
somebody.
you so much.
Are
Appreciate
we?
it. Right. Yes. Bye-bye.
Okay. Well, we're live. It's not showing up. There's no comments, no nothing, so we can't get your questions. Isn't that lovely? And here I'm asking you how I can help you. And, oh, well, that's Facebook for you. So, anyway, yes, so it may sound silly to you, but the fact is, aha, now it's showing up as live. The fact is that it's going to be happening. Now, we have a choice about whether or not we're going to get crazy about it, right?
Yes.
Now, here we go. Elizabeth said hi again.
The fact is that it's
Can
going
you
to be
turn
happening.
off
Now, we
the,
have a choice about whether or not we're going to get crazy about it.
Okay. So, Elizabeth said hi again. Wade says, I'm back. Amy said, I like what you just said. What's the alternative? Yeah. You know, if we make up our minds that we're going to be calm, we're more likely to be calm because we begin to see that as a value. A lot of us feel that being hysterical is a way of protecting ourselves. It's like, oh, if I have enough anxiety and enough fear, then I'm going to do all the things that I need to do in order to protect myself. But the fact is just the opposite. And Tracy said hello, and hello, Tracy. And Elizabeth said, please ask your question again. My question is, how can we help you now around the coronavirus? So the question that was asked to me, first of all, is how do we stay calm? And my answer is, what's the alternative? You know, we can make ourselves very anxious because we think that that's going to somehow protect us. But actually all it does is make us stupid, right? The more anxious I am, the more stupid I am.
I have found that to be the case with me.
Yeah.
Anxiety drives my IQ right down.
Absolutely. So I say, let's make our decision that whatever happens, our major thought is, how am I going to stay calm, and how am I going to stay calm for other people? Elizabeth said, please ask your question again.
She
That must be, we already did that. So, supposing you were in a situation and you had small children, and they are like totally freaked out because something, the boogeyman is in the room. Wouldn't you think, you know, the best thing that I can do right now is stay calm and try to reassure them? Well, let's think about that for everybody, right? I would like to stay calm because I want to help everybody else to stay calm. Amy says, I tend to act upset as proof that I'm paying attention to whatever is going on that is scary. I love that, Amy. So why don't we stay calm as proof that we're paying attention and agree with one another that we are not going to feed that hysteria. So that's my first thought. Now, okay, how about some more? How can we help you now around the coronavirus? Let's have another question, or I can do some process. For example, right now, I could say, why don't we all chant together? And why would we be chanting? Well, because it's enchanting to chant, and because it's very calming to chant. So I know you're at home, and I'm here, and I'm going to chant, and I want you to chant with me. Okay? So, ha, Now the whole world is in our hands, and the more calm we are, the more calm we can help other people to be. So let's do one more chant, because I see there's another question, two more questions. Okay, so let's do some more chanting, and let's just feel the calm that wafts over us as we chant. Ooh. Now smile. We did a chant and a smile. Okay, if you're chanting and smiling, you are probably calming down. Now, Elizabeth says, no, Tracy said, how can I stop eating due to anxiety? Ooh, that's a good one. Let me see. How can I stop eating due to anxiety?
Would it be switching to some alternative way to relieve the anxiety?
Well, that's a very good point. But the first thing that comes to mind is, do I recognize that eating is not going to help? That's just more anxiety. That's proving to me how anxious I am. If I'm stuffing my face, not only am I anxious about the coronavirus, now I'm anxious about overeating. And then I get to be anxious about gaining weight. And I mean, by the time we get done with it, there's one anxiety after other, and we laugh, and I say, you know, eating is not going to help. What can I do that will calm me down? Which is what you were asking. Mm-hmm. What kinds of things? For instance, do I need to take a walk, even if it's just in the house? Am I in a safe place with people in my family that I can hug? Can I play with the puppy? How about if I sit down and start journaling about this? And then I'm focused on my journaling. And before you know it, I don't even know what I'm journaling about. I don't get so anxious anymore. So, okay. Elizabeth said, I made a big decision to temporarily stop working, potentially exposing myself and my family. I've bounced between feeling relaxed and doubting my decision. How can I stay relaxed about this? Well, honey, you've already decided. There's nothing more foolish than getting anxious about something that you've already decided. It's like, okay, so I ask myself, here's something that I've done many times. Let's say I'm anxious about something, and then I ask myself, well, what am I afraid of? Well, I'm afraid that I'm going to lose my job, right? Well, I don't think you will lose your job because, in fact, I know that the state of Oregon now is saying that, people should stop. And you know very well you're not going to lose your job because your boss, I happen to know Elizabeth, and you know your boss already understands. So say to yourself, why am I getting anxious? What is it exactly that I'm anxious about? And then you say, well, why does that make me anxious? And why does that make me anxious? And why does that make me anxious? And as you start answering those questions, you can write to me, right? You've already made your decision. Just I'm not going to change my mind. Tell yourself I'm not changing my mind and stop feeding the anxiety. See, every time you start thinking about it, then you're just feeding the anxiety. So take a look at what is it about this choice that's really making you anxious. For example, maybe you stood up and took care of yourself. Maybe that made you anxious. Well, why would that make you anxious? Well, because I don't think that it's a good thing when I stand up for myself, or I'm going to get smacked down. Oh, really? Well, why do you believe that? And so on and so on and so on. And start unraveling this thing. Go all the way down to the bottom of that fear. Okay. So Tracy said, let's see. Elizabeth said, good one, Tracy. That was about the food. Tracy said, thanks, Lizzie. Tracy said, yes. Then I'm anxious. I'm eating up all our food. Oh, that's very funny, honey.
Yet another anxiety.
That's right. So one of the things that you're going to notice if you really look at your anxiety, which is what people are talking about now, is that we have a tendency to feed anxiety. Like, oh, it's the hungry wolf. Woo, 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 I want to eat. Give me more things to be anxious about. Oh, yes, I really want to be. You know, deep down inside, you have not made the decision that you want to become. Then you can ask yourself, why have I decided not to be calm? Now, I've already shared on other shows that one of the greatest way to be calm is to actually do something proactive. So, for example, if you're staying home from work, clean the closet. You know what I mean? Or ask yourself, what is the thing that I keep complaining about that I don't have time to do? Play the piano, do art, do something. Now, that's really good because we have somebody who's even talking about that. So Island said, walking is nice. Reading, I agree with you. Walking is really nice, even if you can't go outside. And a lot of people can go outside as long as you do social distancing. It uses up the energy. Use up the energy. That's all anxiety is. It is a kind of an energy that's gone hog wild. So try to do it. Pick something that you know is going to be calming and do it. Don't feed it. Right?
Oh, by the way, for anybody who doesn't know, social distancing refers to being at least 6 feet away from somebody else that you don't know is safe.
Right. So then Debbie said, hi, Beth and James, stay safe. Well, we are staying safe. We're staying home.
Oh, yeah.
And, you know, I stay home anyway. When do I ever go out? So this is nothing new for me. And Sir James over here is getting a little antsy in his pantsy. But, you know what I mean? Okay, I will come back to this question, believe it or not. Elizabeth said, my boss initially told me that she would put in writing that she would hire me back. Though today she said she cannot do that because she doesn't know what's going to happen. Well, of course she doesn't know what's going to happen. So stop focusing on that. How does she know that there's going to be any money to hire anybody? How does she know what size that your workplace is going to be? So just say, okay, so if she doesn't hire me back, then I'll go get something else. You see, I'm telling you, Elizabeth, I can feel it. You are trying to feed the anxiety instead of the calm, okay?
Besides, there's expected to be extended, employment compensation.
That's right. And then while you're getting your unemployment compensation, you can look for another job. There's no point. There is absolutely no point fretting about something you cannot change. Remember the serenity prayer? God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. So if you can't stop her, then let it go. Go do something else. Refocus your energy. We have a friend with from Iraq who said, good morning, you two. Good morning to you in Iraq. And Elizabeth said, I never considered that I wouldn't be rehired. Well, you need to consider everything, but not get all freaked out about it. It's a possibility, and then you find a way to live with that. Yeah. First of all, we're all supposed to theoretically get money, $1,200 a person, which will help tide us over. But see, I'm telling you, I don't think you're looking at it. Why do you want to freak out? That's what I want to ask you, right? I want to ask you that question. Okay, Judy said, hi, you two cuties. Hope you're doing well. I just got here. Okay, well, Judy, I'm asking how can we help you now around the coronavirus? And so that's the question that we're asking. We did a little chanting, and I'm talking about refocusing. I always recommend refocusing on helping others, then you will not be focusing on yourself. There's nothing more anxiety provoking than thinking about yourself day and night, day and night. What's going to happen to me? Okay. So Elizabeth said, thanks, Beth. Oh, good. So I hope you're really taking a look at this as why do you want to be hysterical? Juma says, good morning, ma'am and sir, and good morning to Juma. Okay. So Elizabeth said, do I want to freak out because this is something my worry wart can hold on to and dig in? Absolutely. Your worry wart is saying, see, this woman has been leaving me behind, but now I can come back and take over. I'm seeing this with the ego. A lot of people are like giving themselves permission to get into their ego. Well, I have to think about myself. Oh, I have to think about myself. I have to think about myself because who's going to take care of me and this and that and the other thing. So, hey, come on, we know that slippery ego. It's always going to find some excuse to take over. The worry wart is finding some excuse to take over. Elizabeth said, if I'm hysterical, then I can't take advantage of this situation by avoiding self-care and family and house care. Exactly. See, what I'm saying is use this time. Use this time for what its purpose is. Figure out what you want to do and do it and say, thank you, God, I have an enforced vacation. I don't even have to feel guilty about it. Amy said, being honest, even though I now have a face shield, I don't want to go to one of my jobs because I am angry with the manager there. So my not going in was coming from wanting to say F you to her. So I'm going to go back next week. I actually feel at peace, especially since my friend Helen helped me look at this. Especially it looks like you were trying to say more, but it got cut off. So anyway, yes. So a lot of us, and that's a very good point, a lot of us are freaking out because we want to, because there's something that we want to do that we can justify doing by freaking out. Like rebelling or not getting anything done or defying somebody or anything else out there. You can take a look at that. So I would like to do something else right now, maybe to help us while we get more questions and comments queued up. I don't know if you're getting mad at me because you don't like my answers, but this is... Oh, Amy said, I couldn't see the end of what I was typing before sending it out. So anyway, we get the idea. You are taking it on, Amy, and you got the face shield, and you have to face up to reality, right? And go in there and do what you feel is right. Okay, so what I'm going to do right now is I am going to send Chi. Tracy said this all makes sense. Thank you. And she said, well, what I'm saying actually makes sense?
Absolutely.
Does it make sense to you too?
Absolutely.
So it's the wolf we're feeding, right? We've decided we want to be hysterical because we have an ulterior motive. Otherwise, getting hysterical is silly. Elizabeth said, agreed, what you're saying makes sense. Can you imagine that? Great. Okay. Oh, I want to tell you something. Every Thursday at noon Pacific time, we are doing a video conference where we're coming together to support one another around spreading peace around the coronavirus. Everybody's invited. Look at the post. There is a link. Just register. You'll be in a video conference. It's absolutely free of charge. And we do great things there. We have tools. Last time we had a tool that people were able to take out to their family, to their friends. Go do something valuable and positive that you can do on the internet, that you can do if you're told to stay in place. Okay, so what I'd like to do now is I'm going to send you some chi, and that means that I'm sending you some divine energy. And I don't know if you're going to feel it or you aren't, but I'm going to take a chance and do it anyway. And what's the worst that'll happen is you won't feel it. And then you'll say, Granny, you are so full of it. But, you know, it may not be me. It may be you. I am sending it out. So my hands are buzzing. So let's see. Okay.
Well, I'm sitting right next to you, and I'm already feeling it.
Are you?
Yeah.
Oh, so we can do this. We can do this right now. So take a deep breath. Let that breath go all the way down to the pit of your stomach. Judy said, here in the mountains of West Virginia, I noticed the forsythia is blooming. The frogs are croaking now. If the sun would just show itself, I would feel great. New life is emerging. It's all going to work out. Smile, people. And as Beth said, let it go. Thank you, Judy. You know, for so many people, there's less pollution. You can actually breathe. Oh, Elizabeth said, feeling the chi. Thank you. So chi is like energy, right? Like Tai Chi or Qi Gong, where there's this life force that comes through us. So I've got some life force, and I want to offer it to you. So as I say, take a deep breath and bring that breath now, again, all the way down to this pit of your stomach. And hold on to it. Just hold your breath. And relax your shoulders. Close your eyes. And, you know, relax the breath, release it if you're still holding it. Some people can't hold it that long, that's fine. And let's do that again. Deep breath into the pit of the stomach. Hold it. And release it when you need to. Relax your shoulders even more. Drop your hands into your lap if you've had them up. If you haven't had them up, you can't drop them. But if you happen to have had them up, drop your hands. Now I'd like you to picture a beautiful scene in nature. The forsythia are blooming, the frogs are croaking. There's less air pollution. And say these words. I want to feel peace.
I want to feel peace.
Take another breath, hold it. Raise your arms up and drop them as you exhale. I want to feel peace.
I want to feel peace.
Now take your hands, close your eyes real tight, put your hands over your eyes, press in, press in, press in, and bring your hands down over your face, taking a deep breath. And when you're ready to release the breath, drop your hands and your arms. I can feel peace.
I can feel peace.
Just feel that. Are you feeling it, James?
Yeah.
Excellent. Now I want you to raise your right fist or your left fist, which is ever more comfortable for you. Raise it all the way up, all the way up, all the way up. Take a deep breath. And expand your chest, you know, sort of like make a little semicircle with your back and bring your shoulders back and open your, you know, bring your chest forward, and then you just relax your fist. Just don't bang into the computer. I do feel peace. Now what I'd like you to do is raise up your arms out like you're embracing people. And any peace that you have managed to gain through this, I want you to send it out to somebody you love, especially if you're not with them. But even if there isn't, it can be somebody that you're with in the same house. And look at your hands and say, these hands are transmitting peace. And just breathe that in a very gentle way. My hands. Say these words after me. My hands are an instrument of peace.
Are an instrument of peace.
And drop them. Close your eyes and relax. And as you open your eyes and you look at me, I want you to say, I want nothing more than to spread peace.
I want nothing more than to spread peace.
In the beginning, people ask questions about worry and anxiety and overeating and all of that. And we noticed something, that was all about focusing on the anxiety. And what we've done in the last few minutes is we have focused on the peace. You can listen to this part of the program over and over. Do the exercise that we just did together. And I may be doing more. I can see that I have way used up my time. But I hope that you are feeling more peace. I am an instrument of peace. I am an instrument of peace. And if you start to feel that anxiety again, go back and re-watch this video or whatever part of it that you need. And come on Thursday, go check out the post and register for our video conference where Sweet Baby James and I are going to offer you analysis and tools to help you to have peace and to spread it. Elizabeth said thank you, and she gave us the namaste and kisses and love. And Tracy said beautiful, thank you, I feel the peace.
Wonderful.
And so as we close for today, and I promise you that I'm going to do more and more just like this in the coming days for as ever long as we need it. And remember to say, I am an instrument of peace.
I am an instrument of peace.
And people need me.
And people need me.
We'll be back on Wednesday at 6:30 Pacific time for Granny Rocks.
Yes.
And we love you. Thank you.
Peace.
Peace. Peace. Peace.